How's it going, gentlemen? First off, I want to say, got a very cool surprise coming up next week here. A few of you in the Discord group and on Twitter already kind of have a hint about what's going on, but the rest of you, it'll be out soon, next week. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be great. Anyway, on to today's topic. I can just about guarantee you that this video is not going to be fantastic because it's just not. But I want to do it anyway. I've got to do it anyway. I want to do it right now because I've never spoken from this particular perspective before. Flatline and stuff like that. You know, when I first started doing videos, I had already been off of porn for months. I forget how long, but I'd been off porn for a number of months already. And so I was past the whole flatline thing. I was cruising. I was feeling excellent. Right now, not so much. If you've been keeping up with the videos, you're aware that I had a long and grueling series of relapses fairly recently. Yeah, well, I mean, the flatline is a good thing, you know, because it's indicative of, you know, moving away from that, moving back towards recovery again, which is good. And I didn't mention it in the video yet. I'm talking about pornography, by the way. Pornography, nofap, all that stuff. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be a little bit disjointed here. But yeah, so I want to speak from the perspective of being inside that whole flatline dealio, because I've been through it before. A lot of people who are just getting into this probably haven't experienced it, might not even be familiar with it. It's pretty commonly talked about in circles that are interested in the whole quitting porn thing, interested in nofap. But I want to speak from right in the middle of that right now, since I haven't done that before, and then give some pointers on how to deal with it. You know, for me, I've been through this before. I know what it is. I know what it's like. And so it's not, you know, it still is, how do I say it? You know, it's still negative. It still is not good, you know, from my perspective. It's not a good experience, is how I should say it. But, you know, it's not discouraging in the way that it was the first time, and the way that it might be for a lot of people going through it for the first time. So, like I said, I want to give a few pointers on it, and then just, you know, describe what it's like so you guys know. So you know, and so you can get my perspective, so you can, whatever morbid reason you might want to watch this for. Anyway, but yeah, just overall, lately, low energy, not feeling anything. I mean, I'm feeling, I can feel if I pinch myself, or, you know, I can still see, you know, the beauty and stuff around nature, but it's like, I don't know, life is just a little bit less vibrant, and I don't mean like the vibrancy of, you know, diversity and the kind of vibrancy that Europe is going through right now, but I mean just you know, the good sense of the word vibrant. You know, going on walks and stuff, it's not the same right now. Doing this video, not the same. Probably pretty obvious if you watch some of my older videos. I watched a couple of my videos from like a year ago, and I'm like, man, I had that much energy. That was, you know, it was actually that good at that point. It's a pretty big difference, pretty noticeable to me anyway, you know, compared to how I'm feeling right now. But yeah, you know, I don't even really want to do this video. I'm not feeling like it, but you know, I want to do it because this is part of what I'm here for. This is part of my mission. This is something there I can, you know, I can give a perspective on something, so I'm gonna do it. But yeah, just low energy in general, low motivation in general, harder to get out of bed in the morning, harder to get stuff done, just, yeah, not enjoying really anything as much. And the temptations when you're in this situation, you know, even for me, you know, sex drive feels a bit lower right now, which, you know, leads to generally a little bit less temptation to look at porn or anything like that. But, you know, that's still there. And in this situation, it can become tempting to kind of retreat back to that to make sure that you're still okay, you know, to make, or, you know, just to get out of the flatline or whatever, just to get that, you know, hit of dopamine to get yourself feeling good again. And that's a mistake. because then you're just going to draw it out. You're just going to have to deal with it more later. It's just going to prolong the recovery process and keep you stuck for longer. It's best you just soldier through, get it done with. You're a man. You can handle this, okay? The other temptation can be to try and like self-medicate with, I've never been into drugs or anything like that, but even video games or things like that. If you find yourself suddenly wanting to play video games way more than you did before, or wanting to sit around and watch TV or movies or something like that more than you did before, be aware of that. Be aware that that's just most likely your brain trying to figure out ways to self-medicate and just get that, get feeling good again in some way. For me right now, seems kind of odd, but the temptation to pick up video games again is way more. The temptation to just sit around all day and do that is really increased. I would say don't do it. Just carry on. As far as your day-to-day actions and behaviors, my advice is to keep them the same as they were before, or this, besides watching porn, of course, don't keep that a part of your schedule. But just the same as they would be normally, without any of these, new feelings of boredom or any of that in play. Try to ignore those as much as possible and continue to do good, productive things. If you're like me, you're not going to feel like working out at all. Do it anyway. Force yourself to do it. Even if the workouts aren't that great, having low energy, of course, is going to impact the quality of your workouts. Do it anyway. Do something. Go on walks. Go run if, you're into running and you don't have terrible joints or something. Just a little aside here, I do a 4-foot strike when I run. I used to have knee issues when I would run. I do a 4-foot strike, which is basically where you land on the balls of your feet and in your toes, and that took all the joint pain out of it for me. So you might want to try that out if running's an issue for you. But anyway, moving on. Lifting and stuff too. Lift if you don't feel like it. Lift if you do feel like it. But lift even if you don't feel like it. Keep your body active. Keep yourself, trying to grow or at least maintain strength and energy and things like that. It's going to help you out a ton when you come out of the flatline. You're not going to have to, catch up because you were sitting around doing nothing forever. Give yourself a good head start here, okay? And other than that, the next thing is kind of social situations. And I tend more introverted anyway, but even so, I notice a pretty big difference in how I interact with people when I'm flatlining like this. It's just, I got to the point previously where I almost didn't even consider myself to be introverted. I was able to swing either way. I could spend time alone, or I could carry on a, great, upbeat, friendly conversation with anyone for as long as I needed to. Now it's just kind of, it's a lot lower. There's not as much energy there as far as socializing with other people. And that can be discouraging. It can make you feel like situations are more awkward than you wanted them to be. It can make you feel like you might have missed out on, a better conversation or a better connection or something like that. And it can be really discouraging like that. And my practice in that area has been to just focus on letting the moments pass, not just refusing to worry about anything. Just acknowledging that, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit lower right now. This isn't going to be the way I would ideally like it to be. Maybe situations are a little more awkward. Maybe somebody will think such and such about me because of how non-conversational I am or whatever. And just let it be, okay? Acknowledge that, yeah, it's not as good as it could be, but you know what? That's fine. Let the moments pass. Once they're past, leave them in the past. Don't worry about them. Don't try to revisit them. Don't entertain any kind of regret or anything like that over how your interactions have gone. And just keep moving forward. You know, keep soldiering through this. You're a man, you can deal with it, all right? So keep going. And you know what? You can examine them, learn from what went wrong or what didn't go optimally, and figure out how to overcome those things too. You know, that would be a good thing to do. But don't get caught up in the worry and the regret. There's a difference between examining something and worrying about it. There's a difference between analyzing it to learn what you can from it so you can improve, or maybe even empathize better with other people who aren't good socially. And there's a difference between doing that and just, you know, dwelling on it and being regretful and apprehensive about, you know, what's going to happen the next time. Just let it go, okay? Learn from it and let it go. That's it. Okay, so those are my main tips there. You know, stay physically active. Don't worry about the social stuff and all that. Don't try to self-medicate with, you know, easy rewards. You know, these things like video games and TV and movies and stuff like that. Even porn and masturbation. You know, don't relapse into that just to get that, just to get a good feeling with minimal effort. You know what I mean? That is it. That's all I can say to you right now. I've already talked. I must be talking slowly because that I didn't say a lot in all this time. But anyway, I hope that is useful for somebody. I hope somebody can get something out of that, that somebody who's maybe going through something like this or about to go through this is better prepared for it. So when you hit the flat line, be aware of these things, be on the lookout for them, and know how to deal with them, all right? Y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. Take it easy, but not too easy. Like I said, surprise coming up next week. If you already know about it, I don't know. I don't care if you spoil it, whatever. But, yeah, keep an eye out for that. I'll let you guys know. Take it easy, but not too easy. I'll talk to you later.